Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
We talk about insurance. We just had someone on. Of course, our shows vary from celebrities to insurance and to healthcare. In fact, we have someone coming up, Eddie Rodriguez, who just walked from South Florida all the way to New York. We have a variety, but we have people who are very serious experts in things that some people don't even know about, and one of which is Lise-Anne Jensen, who is an electrologist. And if you went into a room of 25 people, Lise-Anne, I'll bet you said you're an electrologist, they might not know what it was. Maybe one would. What do you think? A lot of people know what it is now? Maybe because you've been writing articles, but let's just say, is that a common phrase?
No, there's not too many of us around.
Nationally?
In the state of Florida, in this area, I would say no. Nationally, there's quite a few. It's in other parts of the country, it's very common and very well known. Here, there's not too many of us because in Florida and California, people are more into laser and they don't understand the difference. And then the laser places don't tell people all the time that they can go see an electrologist when they can't help them. So it's that sort of thing. I'm always trying to partner with a laser person here in the area that I haven't found yet. So if you're out there, call me.
So tell me what you just said, though. Explain that. When laser doesn't help someone, why is that?
Because laser only works on dark hair, and lighter skin is the best. It can work on some of the darker skins with the new lasers that they have out, but it only works on dark hair. It doesn't work on white hair, blonde hair, red hair, very light brown. Sometimes the roots are too shallow, so the laser won't work on that either, and that's where I come in.
Oh, that's good enough. And people, do they know that their hair is very light? I mean, let's just say, if they're a blonde and their hair is going in blonde, but do people who have black hair know that the hair that they have is white because they're just older? Is that why it's white?
Well, the hair loses its pigment in the base of the root with the melanin that creates the color and the pigment. It stops working, and so that's why the hairs turn white.
And when is that? I mean, is it...
Can happen anytime. You know, you've seen young men that they go gray when they're young, so that can happen anytime. Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you don't want to happen, so that you can really have, probably a laser is maybe an easier thing if someone thinks they just take this laser, put it over it, and it's over, right? But electrology takes...
It's a little more time consuming. You have to be committed.
Yeah, it's time consuming, and it also goes deep. I was wondering about the laser. I'll bet that hair still comes back once you've used the laser.
They do call laser hair reduction. They're not allowed to call it permanent hair removal. Only electrolysis is approved as permanent hair removal by the FDA. And they did a study where they did the laser in a, measured out area, and they watched it over a period of time, and some of the hair grows back. Maybe it'll grow back finer, or could just grow back the same. They're only allowed to call it hair reduction. And many, many laser places will write permanent on their advertising and things like that, and they really shouldn't be.
That's a very important point you just brought out.
Yeah, not everyone's ethical.
No, right. And I wonder if they even know that it...
They know.
They
because,
do know it.
Yes, when you study laser, that's why I know this. I studied laser. I understand how laser works.
So they're aware of it, and they just...
choose not to say it that way.
Does it come back in a much longer time, though? Maybe it doesn't come back.
It could be
right
years before it came back. Or some people, it exasperates the problem. It actually causes the hair to grow thicker and darker. And you don't know if you're going to be that person that reacts that way.
Well, that would be bad.
I think it's probably in the fine print, but people don't read the fine print.
That would really be bad, right? All of a sudden.
Yeah, I would never have laser done on my face.
That's a very good point. You wouldn't have any laser. But,
never.
But the people who come to you as patients or as clients, what are
clients?
They clients?
Clients. I'm not a medical doctor.
Right. What do they say? That they've had laser and then this is what's happened? I mean... So you can hear the complaints from them.
I hear it. I see it. I see it. So that can happen. And then just some people, it's hormonal. They just, certain times your hormones go out of whack, and certain times in your life, could be stress, could be age, could be a lot of different factors, could be a medical reason. So you start to grow hair where you don't want it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking about men, though. Wouldn't it be nice if a man didn't have to shave anymore? He probably hates to shave. Have you ever had anyone come in and have electrology done?
Yes, there's been some people who get ingrown hairs on their face, men who shave and get ingrown hairs. They'll come in and they want the hair removed so that they don't have to deal with the ingrowns anymore, because that can be quite painful.
And, of course, we've seen men that have these wiry hair, but that's usually white, isn't it, when they have the wiry hair on their eyebrows or in their nose? Maybe that's
It's not
white.
always white, but just things change as you get older.
So they wouldn't go for laser, I have to assume, someone like that, wouldn't they?
No.
Because, you see, I would think laser isn't as pinpoint as you do.
Laser is a light that goes beneath the surface of the skin. You actually shave the hair off when you do laser. And the laser light goes below the surface of the skin and targets the melanin in the hair. So it's a completely different process. Mm-hmm. Completely different.
All right. Well, let's just let's do something. Let's divert for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
In your article in the May issue, you say electrolysis and the importance of sun protection. We know that sun protection is important anyway, but it's more so when you've just had electrolysis done?
Yes, because when you have the electrolysis done, your skin is a little bit injured, so to speak, on a microscopic level, and you don't see anything, but the follicles are open and the skin is irritated and much more susceptible to sun damage. So it's very important within the first 24, 48 hours to use a very good sunblock when you leave the electrologist's office. And it's good to use sunblock in general anyway.
I was just going to say
Florida.
that.
Florida, we are just susceptible to the burning rays and the UVA, UVB rays. So it's really, really diligent, good to be diligent about using a sunblock. It even comes through the windows of your car. So, it's important.
Let's go through. Let's have like a virtual visit, a virtual office visit to you. So
okay.
I think that'll work. So someone comes to your office, and they want to remove some of their chin hair or their hair on their face or wherever they want to do this. Maybe they want to make their eyebrows better, and I guess you've done that. What happens? I mean, just go through the whole thing.
I have an intake form that I have them fill out so I can know what forms of hair removal they've been using previously, and if they have any health issues that are contributing to the hair growth. And so if they've been to a doctor, if they know that or not. And sometimes, when I see people, I actually suggest to them that they go see their doctor, because sometimes really excessive hair growth isn't a normal occurrence, and there could be an underlying medical reason. So I do recommend sometimes that people go and see their doctors. And then I just assess the situation and explain to them how it works, and do the consultation that way. And then usually when they call, I ask them if they just want the consultation or if they want to schedule a treatment at the same time, a short treatment, so that they can see what it's like if they've never had it done before. And then I give them a small treatment.
Tell us what that treatment's like. I mean, they lie down or they sit in a chair. What do they do?
They lie down, and I have an epilator that has a small probe on the end of it, and I adjust the settings according to each individual. So, I have a good idea of where to start, but sometimes I have to change the setting for each person. It's not always the same, whether the hair will release or not. And I have medical loops, which are magnifying 1,000 times, so
she
that
looks
I
like
can.
She's from Mars, because I've had this treatment. They're very interesting.
So that I can see where I'm inserting the probe, and the probe goes into the hair follicle, which is an opening, and you give it the current, and then it releases the hair, and you take it out.
You take one hair out.
One at a time.
There might be more
done
than
one.
one.
It's done one at a time. Mm-hmm.
So, but I think you once told me that sometimes there's like 2 or 3 right there in the same.
There could be 2 hairs out of 1 follicle, or just 3 that are very close together, or something like that. So, it's a little more difficult to see the separation of them, and get one and then work your way through them.
So, in a session, how many hairs would you? I mean, it's like, I know when you've worked on me, I think you've shown me the hair, which I've always interested in. Let me see all the hair you're taking out.
Yeah. I usually explain to people the different stages of hair growth, and some of them are very, very curious, so that I can tell by the way the root looks what stage of growth it's in. So there's an early stage, a resting stage, and the shedding stage. And in each of those stages, the root looks different. So some people are really interested, so I'll explain it to them. And some people just don't care, and they just want the hair gone, and they, just stay there and relax.
Is the root, let me ask you, is the root in your hair on your head the same as the root
They're
on your
all
face?
the same. Your whole body, all the hair on your body is the same. It all goes through the same stages. You just don't, most people notice the hair on their head falling out, but they don't notice the hair everywhere else, that comes off. But everything, it's all shorter. So every part of your body has different ways that the hair grows. The hair on your head grows different than the hair on your face. The hair on your arms grows different than the hair on your legs. So it's like all these little computers going on all over your body telling it, saying which way the hair is going to be growing. But it all sheds, and it all regrows at different rates.
Well, let me give some information. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio, so you don't have to go to the internet. You don't have to go. They don't have Yellow Pages anymore, but or at least I don't look at them. If you want permanent hair removal, you'll want to have electrolysis, and you'll want to go to Lise-Anne Jensen. And the phone number to reach her is 561-866-7400. 561-866-7400. And if you call today, you can schedule a complimentary consultation, which is really nice because you are taking her time. She is licensed by the Florida Department of Health, so this is really very important. And her website is SerenitySkinInc.com. SerenitySkinInc.com. And her name, again, is Lise-Anne Jensen. And she's very serious about what she does. I must say, she is a real professional, and she will help you. And even if it isn't something that she should be doing, just as she said, it might be something you need to go see your doctor about, she will refer you to do that. So, Lise-Anne, and I know that you have had, we've talked about this before, you've had a lot of people who have come to you, and they want to do this, but they're a little afraid. I think that's the biggest thing. Well, what are you going to use this electric on me? It's going to electrocute me?
Yeah.
Because we talked about that. And it's not that powerful, is it?
No, it's not that powerful. It's a small sting, and everybody's different, so it depends on your sensitivity level. If you're someone who just can't stand, anything, everything hurts you, and that, of course you're going to be a little more sensitive. Or if you drink coffee before you come, or you're stressed, or things like that, could make you more sensitive. So I do try to keep it very relaxing. Lights are low. There's calming music.
Oh, you are. You're
do
very
a little
relaxing.
bit of aromatherapy.
I think I fell asleep when you were doing it.
Yeah, you did.
It just says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What do you mean coffee, though? What does that have to do with it?
The caffeine can stimulate your nervous system to be more sensitive. So it's good not to drink coffee right before you come. Sure, and a couple hours before is fine. But if you're a serious coffee drinker, I always suggest people don't drink coffee. So, just some people's bodies are just more sensitive to everything.
So they won't know that until they now start to go to you and they see how it.
Yeah, but if you know that you're sensitive to creams or smells or all different things, like people have sensitivities to these things, and some people are more hypersensitive than others, then you would know. Don't drink the coffee before you come.
And when people do, let's say they have a certain amount of hair, which you will assess, what are they looking at? A couple of times a week? Is that what you generally would do?
I always suggest people start with once a week, whatever amount of time, depending on the density of their hair. We can assess the time frame once they come. And you come once a week until you start to see a diminish in the amount of hair, and then you spread it out over time. Then you go to 2 weeks, or you go to a month, or however much hair growth you have, you just start spreading it out. So people with more serious problem, of course, they have to come more often for a longer period of time, but eventually it stops. That's what I suggest. If you have a lot of hair and you want to come twice a week, that's okay too. You can come every other day. You could come every day if you were working on different parts of the body. It just depends on the person and I guess how serious and how fast they want to get rid of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that you are you always take people by appointment. That's very important.
Yes.
When you call. I'll give the number again so you make an appointment. And I don't know if you have evening hours. At one time you did, but now you have every day is 5 days a week?
No. 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday, half day on Saturday, and the other days of the week as late as till 5, close at 5.
Okay, and so the number to call is 561-866-7400, which is there in Boca Raton. And I think you'll like Lise-Anne. She's very kind. She's very smart. And thank you for coming to our show and telling all the people about electrolysis.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lise-Anne.
All right.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to just talk about a couple of things we're doing. You know, we have a big expo coming up, and I do want to share that information with you. The expo, we have a few of them. As a matter of fact, our big expo that's going to be happening there at Coconut Creek, it's the Seminole we used to go to Hard Rock down in Hollywood, and now we're doing this in Coconut Creek, but it's still the Seminole Casino, so you can gamble if you want while you're there. It's Tuesday, July the 26th. And if you want more information about that, you can go to our website, which is boomerexpofl.com. Also, I want to tell you about a new one we're doing. It's a senior expo, but it's down in Sunny Isles Beach. Sunny Isles Beach is really a neat little community. If you've heard of Aventura, it's south of Aventura. If you've heard of Bal Harbor, it's north of Bal Harbor. And we're going to be doing an interesting expo there. We have a lot of fun. We're actually called Pennies from Heaven because we are going to give away lots of pennies. Now, pennies add up, but it will be fun, I assure you. Then I don't want you to forget the fact we do have 2 Cure symposiums. Every year we do 2. We do them at Palm Beach State College. We're going to be doing this one Saturday, November the 12th. And, of course, we have websites for all these, and you could get a lot of information that way. But if you want to exhibit, it's really important. If you want to get in front of a lot of people in a very, very happy way, you ought to exhibit at our expos. The phone number is 561-864-1101. That's 561-864-1101. Or you can actually you can go to the website. So we have boomerexpofl.com. That's for the big expo that we do, the Boomer Expo. The next one for Sunny Isles is Boomer Expo FL. I'm sorry, it's Boomer Expo SIB for Sunny Isles Beach FL. Boomer Expo SIB FL.com. And then our Cure Symposium is cure-symposium.com. Well, we have something else that we do that we just are thrilled with. We get so many authors who want us to review their books, and we can't possibly review everybody's offers, so everybody's book. So we do choose very carefully. And if you are one of those authors, and maybe you printed this or someone else printed it for you years ago, if it's a good book, we will we'll bring it back to life. So if you have a book, you're an author, whether it's new or it's been out for a while, give us a call. Or I'll tell you what you can do. You can just email us at srlife@gate.net. That's srlife@gate.net. Or you can call our office and they will help you, tell you how to send the book to us so we can review it. It's the phone number at our office is 561-864-1101. And that's how you can let us know you have a book you want us to do. The other thing that I just want to tell you is we have a lot of authors in our magazine. So you have a choice of being a book of the month or a publisher's choice. Depends on what your book is, and then we will lead you to that and tell you about it. Now, our July issue is coming up. And so, that's not right. I'm all mixed up now. Our June issue is coming up. We just finished, of course, in May. Now the June issue is coming up, and you will really enjoy that. We have lots of spectacular things. If you've heard of Mark Cuban, we've done a little article on him. We do things on personalities, and we have recipes. We have lots of things that I think of great interest. In fact, this time we're going to do something on bees because we know how valuable bees are, and we want you to be able to. You can't save them or keep them as pets, but we all need to help the bees procreate and to be around, because bees, as you know, are very important for our flowers and our plants. So I just want you to be aware of it. The other thing that we get so much positive response to are our contests. And each month we give away $50 to people who enter the contest. It's not difficult. It's an easy thing to do, and you may be the lucky winner of $50. But the nice thing is we also put your name and the state, well, not the state, but the city that you live in. And so you would be able to see your name. Your friends will see your name, and you may be the lucky winner. Who knows? So in closing, I have to just tell you that we always have great people who come and speak, but you're going to be hearing one of the people that we have discovered, and he will be on one of our shows. His name's Edward Rodriguez, and he's had a very difficult life. But as many people who face challenges can do, if the spirit's there, they can do something that's spectacular. And Edward did. I would just tell you this, at the very end, you'll see that he decided to dedicate his life to sharing happiness. And you'll see why when you hear the interview. You'll know why he did that. His 2010 event called Happiness in the Park gathered 300 people to create a world record of most people smiling and waving simultaneously. That's kind of a joke, but I'm just going to tell you that. He's been on the cover of newspapers, written about in magazines, and a guest on numerous radio shows, and he will be a guest on our radio show coming up, and news stations across the nation. He now calls this 1,054 miles for happiness, in another out-of-the-box idea that Edward has dreamed, lived, and created. So you'll want to be able to listen to that. Something else that's coming up, too, is tiny houses. Have you been watching the TV show called Tiny Houses? Well, we have been fascinated, especially my husband, who has been a developer, and he is now looking for a site to build tiny houses. Now, tiny houses, sometimes you can see them and they're like 250 square feet. Well, that's really tiny. Most of the houses, though, that are livable are about 500 square feet. And if you read his article every month in Boomer Times, you'll see, and you'll even see a diagram of the little house. And it won't be big, but it'll be enough that one or even two people can live in a tiny house. So we don't know of anyone else writing about this, but if you want more information, read the articles, and you will learn about that. We also show you seminars that you can attend. Now, our seminar page only consists of seminars that are free. So if you've heard Joe Karp on our radio show before, he does free senior survival workshops. And they are always, there are three of them. One is always two are in Palm Beach County. Then there's one in Port St. Lucie. For 3 hours, you can attend a workshop on all the new legalities for mostly elders. That's what he does. He's an elder law attorney. He is a magnificent lawyer, and you will learn so much. It doesn't cost you anything, and he's funny, and he's smart. So I want you to be sure to, when you get Boomer Times, make sure you go to the seminar page, and you'll see when that'll be on. So the only other thing that I think is really important for you to know about are that Faith Farm Ministries, Faith Farm. I know a lot of you know about Faith Farm because you deliver your goods there for people who maybe you think need clothing. They'll pick up things, but you can deliver them to their facility out there, 441 in Boynton Beach. They have one in Commercial, in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm not really sure exactly where it is. But Faith Farm's been doing this for a long time, and they're a great not-for-profit because they take care of 400 people who have been addicted to something, and they take care of them for 9 months for free. They do a superb job, and if you want them to pick up something, as long as it's good, and you can't have broken TVs and things like that, but if it's something good and you just don't want it anymore, you should call Faith Farm because they will pick things up, or you should go there to buy old, used furniture. You'd be surprised just how nice the furniture is. A lot of people have gorgeous things, and when they don't want them, instead of putting them outside, they send them or they call for a pickup there, and people come from Faith Farm, they pick them up, they sell it. I bought a lot of things there, and I brought a lot of things. In fact, when we moved, we had my mother's piano after she passed away, and it was a beautiful piano. And we weren't going to be able to take it down from the second floor, and we weren't able to take it with us since none of us play piano. And we gave it to Faith Farm, and there it is in their chapel, and you can see it being used, and it makes us so happy. So you can do the same thing. Also, there are lots of theater advertisements in Boomer Time, one of which is the Palm Beach Drama Works. They are located in West Palm Beach. They are one of the finest theaters, probably in South Florida, maybe even in Florida. We go to all their shows, so you'll want to go and see what they're playing. The one we're going to be seeing now, and I hope it goes through June 12th, that's okay. It's called Satchmo at the Waldorf, and it's getting rave reviews because it came in from New York, and it should be excellent. So be sure that you do go to some of those theaters. Now, the other thing is we have a lot of advertisers that talk about helping you in all ways, whether it's improving memory or it's relieving your pain. Just make sure you look at all of them and then go ahead and respond. We'll be back with another show, and just keep listening to us.